Alright guys, so it seems like there will actually be a new endgame mode coming to Genshin very soon, but before we all get too hyped about this, there are two things we need to talk about first. One, this leak might not even be true and I'm gonna explain why in a second, and two, I want to explain how this game mode would actually look like in-game. So first of all, let's start with the new endgame mode and how it would actually look like. Because if I'm not mistaken, this game mode seems to be very similar to the Deadly Assault game mode that we have in Zenless Zone Zero. Now, since a lot of you guys unfortunately don't play this game for some reason, let me explain how this game mode works and how it would look like in Genshin. Alright, so you have 3 different teams for 3 different bosses. The characters cannot be shared between teams, so if you are using Fiorina in Team 1 for example, you won't be able to use her in any other team anymore. So all 3 teams need to have different characters. But here's the thing, unlike every other game mode, you are actually able to share weapons and artifacts for each boss. So you could use Fiorina's signature weapon on Fiorina for the first boss, and then for the next one, you could just give her signature weapon to someone else on that team. In Razor language, all 3 teams need to have different characters, but the artifacts and weapons can be shared. The reason why this works is because you don't do all 3 bosses in a row. You can choose in which order you want to fight them, and after every fight you get sent back to the menu. Then you decide which boss you want to fight next, and the characters you already used in your previous team will be locked and they will not be available. The weapons and artifacts you used in your previous fight can be used again, however. Now, how does the gameplay actually look like, and what do you have to do? Well, this is where things start to get a little bit more interesting. In ZZZ, the game mode works in a way where you have 3 minutes for each boss fight, and during that time you have to deal as much damage as you possibly can, and depending on how much damage you deal, you will get some nice rewards. So the boss essentially has an unlimited amount of HP, and you just have to survive while dealing as much damage as you possibly can during those 3 minutes. But when we look at the leak, instead of having to fight 3 bosses, it says you have to go through 6 floors. Now, the way I imagine it would look like this. Each team needs to go through 2 floors with either one or multiple bosses in them. So for example, the first team needs to go through 2 floors of bosses, the second team needs to go through 2 floors, and the third one needs to go through 2 floors as well. So it's the same concept as I already explained before, except that instead of just fighting one boss for 3 minutes, you have to go through 2 floors with each team, so it makes up 6 floors in total. That is sort of how I would imagine it, but the problem I have with this is that we don't know if you actually have to defeat the bosses or if you just have to deal a lot of damage like in ZZZ. And then also, we should probably keep in mind that this leak has very little information in it, so if it is true, there's a good chance that the game mode could change by a lot or even be completely reworked. Speaking of which, who the fuck is Home DG Red? Like, we all know who Home DG Cat is, right? Because he is the one who leaks all the information from the beta, but who is Home DG Red? Is that like his evil brother or something? I'm genuinely confused. But regardless, I still think there could be some truth to this leak, because I remember some time ago in the 5.3 livestream, or I don't know if it was a survey or if it was on their website or some shit, I don't remember where exactly that was, but some of you might remember this. A few months ago, Hoyoverse said that they want to add new game modes to enhance the player experience or something, and they were also hiring extra people for this. I don't remember what exactly it was, but there was definitely some kind of announcement from them, and some of you might remember this. So it would make a lot of sense if this leak is true in some way, and honestly, it's about time for something new in this game. Anyway, this leak has very little information, and the person who leaked this information seems kind of suspicious, so for now we should keep our expectations low. With that being said, let me know in the comments what you guys think about this, and as always, I wish everyone a nice and wonderful day.